just get paid. I want to play. The vibes is right. I wanna hug up tight. No time to waste. I wanna work my ways. So come on, babes. Give me a taste. I wanna rub my body on your body. I wanna rub my body on your body. Let me rub my body on your body. I wanna rub my body on your body. I wanna rub and love up. I wanna rub and kiss up. I wanna rub and jam up. I wanna rub and rub up. I wanna rub my body on your body. I wanna rub my body on your body. Let me rub my body on your body. I wanna rub my body on your body. Well, you know, I'm feeling, 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 I'm feeling.
Hello, this is attorney Shellen Washington, owner and founder of the Washington Law Firm located at 455 Utica Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. We're specialized in medical malpractice, personal injuries, matrimonial law, and landlord and tenant. If you're in need of legal representation, please give us a call today. The number to call is 718-877-3100. Consultation is free at no cost to you, so call us today to see if we can be of any assistance to your legal needs. Again, the phone number to call us is 718-877-3100.
If you are looking to have your statutory declaration, affidavit of income, identity, damage or lost passport, lost license, tenancy agreement, agreement of settlement, power of attorney, last will and testament, and certification of documents, then you need to visit the Alistair Collins firm, located at the Killian Mall, 162 Lamaha Street in Georgetown, between Camp and Waterloo Street. Alistair Collins is a commissioner of oaths and a justice of the peace. Make certain you visit him or call for more information at 649-6410 or 685-6448 or 503-1451. And there's adequate parking available. Go down to the Alistair Collins firm and have all of your legal issues settled and brought to the fore. Alistair Collins firm. Contact them at Alistair Collins firm.
All right, hey, guess what? I'm right here. Don't go anywhere. It's Dr. Martin Luther King's birth anniversary, right? Lots of things happening, and a lot of people are living in the United States of America. And I want you to read my lips. Just pretend as though you're reading my lips. A lot of people, millions of people, wherever, whichever part of the world they originated from. Guess what? They're living comfortably, for the most part, as a result of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. You hear me, right? All right. Well, we have our guest coming on, the Honorable Odu. He hasn't been on with us, the Honorable Odu Best. I've noticed quite a few folks like to be called Honorable. I don't like to address quite a lot of people as the Honorable, but tonight I'm addressing Odu Best as the Honorable because that's what he has up there, Honorable. So do share the link. Share the link. Mind you, let's go back to Andrew's Supermarket. Someone told me that the folks at Andrew's Supermarket, they love listening to 107.1 FM. So let us say hi to the folks at Andrew's Supermarket. And when you guys go out to shop at Andrew's Supermarket, let them know that we talk about them here on 107.1 FM. Also, this business, look at this business, uniform store, all sort of things. You go there, you get your nursing uniform, whatever. You let them know that you heard it right here too on 107.1 FM. All right, so what else can we talk about before we get to our guest? The Honorable Honorable Odu Best. You know, hear what I like about this young man. Not because he's a favorite of Lemon, right? Lemon is hard at work. Good evening to you, Lemon. Okay. It is because this young man, the Honorable Odu Best, is all over Guyana. He's all over on the ground doing his thing. And I say hats off to Odu. Let me see. I'm going to look at some of your comments to see how many of you know the Honorable Odu Best before we get him on, right? Good. So the Honorable Odu Best is with us. My name is Mark Benchap. I know you were longing to watch just to see what I look like this evening, right? Well, this is what I look like, nothing different. I'm wearing this black tie because democracy, it's like democracy has died in Guyana. The installed regime, they don't want to hold local government elections. I'm going to ask Honorable Odu about that, right? Freedom of speech, dead under the installed PPP regime. A lot of things dead. Well, we know a lot of them, but democracy-wise, no freedom of speech and all these sort of things. Imagine a man has been charged with just the usual description of certain individuals, acceptable descriptions, mind you. People have been using words like lagu bagu. People have been using words like sketel, lamata. People have been using words like trench crapo. All these words for years. As a little boy in the quarantine, I heard trench crapo. We knew about that trench crappo. What is trench crappo? Anybody could be a trench crappo. The Honorable Odu can be a trench crappo, but I wouldn't call him a trench crappo. You know why? Because he doesn't behave like a trench crappo. And trench crappo is not about someone's ethnicity. Why? For crying out loud, these trench crappos believe that to use the term trench crappo, it's about someone's ethnicity. Look, when the coalition was in office, before they got cheated out of office, yeah, they got bulldozed out of office. I used to address some of them in the coalition as flatfoot hustlers. Nobody took me to task with that. Nobody, well, some of them probably got angry. Some of them used to inbox me and ask me, Mark, who are you calling can you name a couple of the flatfoot hustlers? I'm like, you're not going to trap me at all. I'm not going to name some of the flatfoot hustlers, but those folks in the coalition, you know, a lot of them were ticklish, a little thin skin and so forth, but they weren't as thin skin as these jagabats in office, man. These trench crappos in office. I don't know. Good evening to all of you. Every single one of you. There's no exception on this show. Once you're on this show, whether you are a flatfoot hustler, whether you are a trench crappo, because you guys know the term trench crappo originated. So we take full responsibility for trench crappo, the resurrection of trench crappo, right? That's where it is. Here's where it started. The Jagabat started with Sparrow and all those guys. But on a serious note, a man appeared in front of a magistrate, Judy Lutchman. And I know Judy Lutchman. I know her. I know how she rules. I know the decisions she makes. So I'm not surprised that when Sherrod Duncan appeared in front of her today, this morning, she put the guy on $200,000 bail for allegedly calling someone a trench crappo, for allegedly calling someone a jagabat. $200,000 bail. Magistrate Judy Lutchman, $200,000 bail. Are you kidding me? And then the prosecutors wanted to send Sherrod to jail. Poor Sherrod. In jail? Lemon is smiling. Sherrod in jail for allegedly calling somebody what? A jagabat? A trench crappo? And the prosecutors wanted to send Sherrod, poor Sherrod, in jail? What y'all doing with Sherrod, man? What do you really want to do with Sherrod? In jail? I don't know. I don't know about that. That is why I'm wearing this black tie tonight, because democracy is under attack. Now, Naz is saying, this is what Naz is saying. Naz is saying, and that's a good question, Naz. Naz is saying that she thought he was already on bail. No, he was on station bail. There's a difference. Station bail. So let me break this thing down for you guys. Having, went through that process, I'm kind of like an expert on it. Let me break it down. He, Sherrod Duncan, was placed on $100,000 bail. That's about 500 US. Oh, Sherrod. Right? About 500 US on station bail. Then when they placed him on station bail, in other words, a stupid thing. I don't know what the heck is happening in that old system. So they arrested him. But before they charged him, they placed him on $100,000 station bail. Now that you could go, you place station bail. So when he appeared in court this morning, the magistrate placed him on $200,000. Oh, God. Oh, Sherrod. Let's fight. Right? No. This thing is comical, man. It is comical. Now, drug dealers, people who kill people, right? People who knock down people on the road, and all these manner of things. Look at that very magistrate. If she is consistent in terms of setting bail for individual, Sheriff Duncan didn't kill anybody. Sheriff looked like he could barely knock a mosquito and kill a mosquito. He's not as tough as myself and the Honorable Odo Best. You know, he's not as tough as us, right, Odo? Sheriff hardly kill a mosquito. You're gonna put this on a serious note. You're gonna put this guy on $200,000 bail, and then the prosecutors want him to go to jail. They ask that bail be denied. What nonsense is this, man? I don't know. Let's bring you on right away. So before we get to you, Honorable Odo. Now, Jared now is on bail. He's on station bail, and he's also on bail via the magistrate. Now, what he has to do now is to take his bail receipt for the station bail, $100,000 bail, and take that receipt, and then they're going to send him to the finance division. He's going to have to sit there for about an hour or so before they give him back his bail. So he gets back the $100,000 now that he has appeared in front of the magistrate, and the magistrate placed him on bail. I don't know. Something is wrong with these folks in Guyana. Something is wrong. Honorable, Happy New Year and welcome to the show. Before I bring you on, officially to speak, let me just say that Dr. Yusuf Assad, someone that I've known over the years, nice guy, he passed away. And so I want to extend on behalf of all of us here at 107.1 FM, and I'm sure all of you who are watching this show, condolences to his family, his entire staff at DDL, also Demerara Bank, and other companies that he managed in Guyana. Our sincerest and deepest condolences on the passing of this true son of the soil, a businessman. And mind you, this is a businessman that Barrett Jagdeo cannot even walk close to one side of his shoes. But remember, Barrett Jagdeo insulted this man, He insulted him. But now is not the time to talk about that. But watch Barrett Jagdeo jump out and want to talk, oh, he was a nice guy, a lovely guy, but the same guy that he disrespected. Over to you, Honorable Odo Best. Welcome. Take it over. Good night. How are you?
Thank you very much for having me here. It's a pleasure, and Happy New Year to you and the entire team and the viewers worldwide, and thank you for having me here.
Hey, thank you for being on. In fact, when our executive producer got in touch with you, you said you are going to stop what you're doing to be on the show this evening because you want to talk to the people. But let's begin with what? Local government elections under attack? Your take on that, Honorable Odo Best.
Yeah, I heard when you spoke initially about the local government elections, and you mentioned your tie and you're wearing your tie but democracy seems to be dead in Guyana. I really don't need it. I'm at a loss as to what really democracy really is, because I've seen so many interpretations of democracy as to what really it is. I sure you could hear the president of Guyana, the vice president and members of other team are saying that they are promoting and propagating democracy. So it left us a loss of what really democracy is. Right? That's one thing. The second thing regarding that is I don't think that this government, the way they have been angling, they will look to have any elections at any time soon until they are convinced that they have total and full control over the election machinery to ensure that any such election will give them the desired results that will see them in a strong and a better control of our natural resources. Because clearly that's what they're after. So there won't be any elections. Anyone want to fool themselves into thinking that we're going to have elections soon? I don't think there's any soon election. We'd have to actually go again on the ground to force this action to happen, because they're not going to have this happen until they ensure that the Guyana Election Commission is totally and completely in control by them, so they could give them the desired result.
And I agree with you, because that's what they want. Look at what's happening at GCOM, right? You have the chairman of the Elections Commission, retired Justice Claudette Singh, seem to be playing the tune of the PPP, giving them whatever they want. And now you have the chief elections officers seem to be playing their tune as well. At least people are observing. That is an agency that ought to be transparent and ought to be free of any political interferences. We don't know what's happening, but democracy is under attack. Local government democracy is under attack. For 20-something years, they haven't held elections when they were in office. And it looks as though they don't want to hold elections now. But people, those who are elected officials on the ground, need to be fighting. They need to be fighting.
But
not just on Facebook.
Okay.
But they need to fight. Go ahead, sir.
Mr. Benshaw, as a voice of civil society, me being a voice of civil society, I personally don't think that they shouldn't have any elections anyway, until we fix that election machinery that they are working so hard to ensure that it fixed in such a way so they can get the results that they're looking for. That election machinery have serious.
One second, Honorable. A lot of people now, because you said until we fixed it. Until it is fixed. The coalition had 5 years to repair lots of damages done to GCOM. I believe they have done a good job. More should have been done, yes, under the coalition. Of course, Rome wasn't built in a day. And the amount of damages done to that country under the then corrupt and now corrupt PPP regime was unimaginable. But when you say until certain things are fixed at the Guyana Elections Commission, what are some of the things that need to be fixed first? Go ahead.
First of all, I think that the chairman of the Guyana Election Commission, she've lost any integrity to be at the helm of such a serious machinery, and she ought to disappear as soon as possible time. She have been running the Guyana Election Commission in a way I don't think the Guyana Election Commission is set to run. And I'm sure if we study the laws carefully governing the Guyana Election Commission, the function of the commissioner and the function of the chairman, the way they've been doing it, as though it's one of the committees in Parliament. Okay, this term was set, and the four go in one angle, and they have the vote. They take it away. Whatever decision they make, that's what we go with. I strongly believe that that is not the way it's supposed to be run. That's not the function of the chairman. That's not the function of the commissioners. They have clear and outlined guidelines. That is not the way it's been run. If the professionals do their work, study the laws carefully, governing the Guyana Election Commission, they would find that the way they have been running it, that's not the way to be run. And I think she disgraced this nation. She put this nation on a shame bench when she did what she did in 2020. And I think she should have the decency in stepping down.
Well, let me ask you
That's my first view.
Fair enough. Mm-hmm. What is she doing that is so different from other chairmen of the Guyana Elections Commission? Whether it's Serge Bally, whether it's Serge Bally, whether it's Patterson, whether it is Dudnat Singh, whether it's Joe Singh, whether it was who else, whoever previous chairman of the elections commissions were. What is so different that she's doing, sir?
I can't really point out to this point the difference that she's doing, because I haven't been focusing heavily on the past GCOM chairmans that we had in this country. But what I've known, what the way she's been acting, something as clear what took place in 2020. She took a position with international players to do the unthinkable and the lawless to this nation. And just after that, we started to see chaos and craziness that we've never seen before occur in this nation. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. But my instincts are telling me, because I'm beginning to do some reading on the bylaws and the constitution governing GCOM, that machinery was never meant to work the way they work it, she been working it. I have not been making contrasts between, I have the contrast between her and our predecessors. So I was unable to say at this point in time, what is the difference that she's been doing. And even if they have been doing this, they have been acting in error. That's not a function of the Guyana Elections Commission.
All right.
Of the chairman and the commissioners.
Fair enough. At least, what are two things that need to be, apart from you saying that the chairman has to go? In fact, a lot of things at GCOM may very well have to go. The commissioners, 3 representing the PPP and 3 representing the now opposition. The 3 folks who were appointed by the PPP are there basically to represent the PPP's interests. Don't expect them to represent the people of Guyana. They're representing the PPP's interest. The opposition MPs are there also to represent the opposition's interest in order to let this democracy and free and fair elections and transparency and so forth flow. One of the major problems that we have been hearing is that GCOM is too political. It needs a total overhaul. But don't expect that to happen anytime soon. Not next year, not the next year. Don't expect that to happen. In the interim, how can we fix the problems at GCOM so that we can have proper elections, proper results, so forth and so on? You have been reading up. Let's take another 2 minutes on that. How can we fix the problem?
Well, there's a couple of things that we can do. First of all, I think that we need to ensure that the persons who are wrongly dismissed or who are wrongly, the contracts have not been renewed as a result of the position of taking during the election when there was a serious crisis, I think they need to be reinstated. Because in my view, for the longest time, I've never seen people, Guyanese, acted very fairly at that institution. Something that they were supposed to do was in keeping with the Constitution. And I think Mr. Lowenfield, the woman who was under him, they need to be reinstated because they've so far acted within the law. Claudette needs to go. We had enough of her foolishness and our levels of disrespect. Secondly, I am thinking that in each polling place across the country, they need to have some money being invested there. And I'm thinking each polling place, right, and across the country, need to have electronic devices set up in that of a camera that is feeding back into a main command center. So we can actually see what would have been taking place at every polling station across the length and breadth of this country in real time. We can also use that as a guide as to how many persons visited that particular polling station and then compare it to actually what the numbers are. This system, I think, will minimize the levels of corruption that we have been seeing in our elections. And this 2020 election opened our eyes very clearly. You see, if we have a system like that, clearly, the persons who are bent on doing skullduggery, they will not be able to, because we have footages to say so many persons would have entered this polling place And when you tally it against the numbers that are coming out of there, you can have an idea of the amount of persons actually voting. Even the persons who are voting on behalf proxy, you will still be able to have a close number, a factual figure as to what really took place there. All the incidences, all who's doing this, all the what the police have not been acting professionally at those police stations, for the polling staff who have not been, and the postal officers who have been very, very, very unprofessional, like in the case of on the East Coast during the last 2020 election, where they produced boxes that can't have top. This will show clearly how seriously they took their responsibility, and we'll be able to make an assessment as to what's really going on.
And
I think this will be
the other thing to Honorable Odu Best. I've noticed a couple of folks are asking, they want to know who you are. He is an activist. He's a political activist on the ground. He's doing a lot of things on the ground to sensitize people about their rights and so forth. But we'll get into that shortly. So many things to fix the system. Another thing that is happening is that people's personal properties are being rented by the PPP for polling stations. So that's another thing that needs to be looked into. Moving away from that subject for now, what are your thoughts on this? Not the fact that Irfan Ali is using a rake back to front, as we say, or on the quarantine back to the front, the wrong side, taking pictures, everybody standing up, watching, so that they can take this photograph for 5 minutes and to talk about some cleanup campaign. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, this is what happens. This is what happens when you don't have a very clean and clear intention. When your intention is not clean, these things happen to actually reveal you as to what exactly is going on, right? Because that is revelation. This is basic. How can you hold a rake back to front? This is basic. Even this you get wrong? What's happening? And what I found very striking about the campaign, the cleanup campaign, I must say, however, I posted on my organization page, Movement of Civil Unity. For those who want to follow me, Movement of Civil Unity, I have posted this where I am support of this, and I said this should be repeated in every part of the country. But I noted there was heavy presence of the giant services on the ground working, and I know that they're going to be paid for that. But then I reflected, wait, just last month, they've received an extra salary. So maybe they were paid in advance for the work now.
You know, let me say this to you, Honorable Odu Best. Let me say this to you. There's nothing about this, what Irfan Ali and his gang have done, pretending as though they're out on a cleanup campaign. There's nothing, absolutely nothing, I will agree, that is good about this. First of all, the intention is good. And I'll break this down for you, Honorable Odu, and maybe others as well. Here is why I will break it down. This is basically a photo op. If Irfan Ali and his gang are concerned about a clean city, then charity begins at home. Irfan Ali and his gang at Freedom House and at the office of the president, they starved the city, the capital city, of hundreds of millions of dollars that they owe the city. And so this whole notion of running out there and that they're so concerned about cleaning the city and so forth, they're not concerned. It is a political gimmick to rush out there, grab a rake, grab a hoe. I'm sorry, no pun intended when I say grab a hoe. And they're out there pretending as though they're all about cleanliness. They want a clean city. So they go out there for 5 minutes, start drag. Look at this. What exactly is he cleaning up? Take the photograph and then they leave. They're not concerned about a clean city. They're spiteful. They're vindictive. They're childish. because of the fact, check how much money they owe City Hall. And the hundreds of millions of dollars that they are deliberately holding back from City Hall. Guess what it does? It prevents the mayor, Ubraj Narain, and the city council from doing their job. So they do not have money to clean the city. They do not have money to pay workers to clean the city. And so they're now rushing out. This guy here, Irfan, rushing out, pretending as though he's all about cleanliness. It's a facade. It's a game.
I agree. It's clearly a political stance. We have been looking what we've been doing.
Honorable, there is nothing, absolutely nothing that I support about this. It's a shame and a disgrace what they're doing. Pay the city council their damn money so that the city council can do their job. And when you pay the city council and they don't clean up, then I will turn my attacks on the city council and the mayor. But for now, I'm not buying this political gimmick. It's a shame. Shame on Irfan Ali and his gang for this publicity stunt. Over to you, Honorable.
You know, this is it. And I agree, it was a political stance. From the way they've been operating when I've been watching the footages, it was a political stance, which I support having a clean city and a clean country. But the way they went around it, you can see clearly was a political stand. They still can't come to the realization that Guyana, or the people of Guyana, have risen above the PPP deadlock. Because all what they've been doing and trying to even starve the city because it's a PNC controlled city and to starve it of its resources, they're not getting it. They're not getting it.
It is not, they just don't get anything, sir. Anything, because not only they're starving the city, the capital city of Georgia got all of the ministries, every single thing right there. We already know of the 20-something years, it was a filthy city. It was a garbage dump. Irfan Ali was Minister of Housing then. They all played an active role in dirtying the city. And the only reason that guy is out there raking up crappos, it is because they want to embarrass the city council of Georgetown. They want to embarrass the mayor of Georgetown, whom I'm not even sure that they pay the poor guy, his stipend. For months they've held back his stipend, right? If these people, if Irfan Ali and his bunch of, you know what, if they pay the city the money that they owe, then they wouldn't have to show off and pamperzette themselves like this. So I don't see how you could praise them for this crap that they're doing, this publicity stunt that they're doing. I ain't praising them for this here at all. Some crappos should have just jumped out of the boots or the trench and just chase him. Go ahead. You're the guest.
It's very sad that we have come to this. It's very sad. It's very sad in the 21st century. Guyana is now on the world stage that we still have leaders behaving the way they do.
What
are not realizing.
These guys are not leaders. These guys are hustlers. These guys are just.
But they're in leadership position. Unfortunately, they are in leadership position. So we expect them to operate as at least as leaders. And we, the people of Guyana, that's why I'm so active. And I encourage other civil society members also to be active to put the pressure where the pressure needs to go. Because how long are we going to continue this foolishness? Why would you starve the city? Why would you starve the mayor? Because he's not from your party. They don't realize we don't have time for this party nonsense. We want upliftment.
Let me stop you for a moment. Let me stop you for a moment, Honorable Odu, and let us welcome a trench crapo. A trench crapo because of his stupidity, dotish comment. Now hear what this guy David Lal, a trench crapo. Hear what he say. You could tell that he didn't get much sense, but here he wants to comment. Here. The city council is a national disaster mark. You and the other are nothing more than garbage.
No, this also been.
You see why I got to. I'll give you a couple extra minutes. Let me address him for just 1 minute, please, Honorable. Okay. Now, this is the problem. I just said that central government, which Of course, Irfan Ali sits there as the installed president. He's the head of central government. It's starving City Hall of hundreds of millions of dollars, preventing City Hall from doing its goddamn job. Pay City Hall its money, pay Obraj Narain his stipend, who is the mayor of Georgetown, pay them. And this is not just confined to Georgetown. Look at what they're stifling Linden. They're stifling New Amsterdam. What them gonna go? They're gonna go to New Amsterdam and do cleanup campaign too. They're even stifling Rose Hall. They're stifling Corriverton, Anna Regina, and these places. These people do not believe in democracy. So you get this trench crap, David Lal, jumping up all because he wants to show off himself. So for him, he sounds bright. Hear what he's saying here. The city council is a national disaster. The city council is a national disaster. So what are they attacking? Are they attack garbage? Oh, get some sense. Get some sense. We won't give him the donkey right now because the donkey get better things and bigger things to deal with. Here what another trench crapper here. She named Rebecca Tikaram. She said, you is the next one will have to pay for your mouth, trench crapper. Rebecca, you the next one will have to pay for your mouth. At least I prefer to pay for my mouth than do something else than the trench crappers, them that you support do with their mouth. Yeah, you want views? Anyways, let's not be distracted, Honorable. Sorry about that. I lost character there for a minute. Over to you.
Thank you. I mean, you gotta vent your feelings. They got disrespectful, and this is just seem to be a welcoming thing by them. And if you best investigate these persons who have just mentioned or commented and saying what they have said, you'll see that they are not from Guyana. They are not here to deal with the day-to-day living and the sufferings of the small man. The people I've been all over this country and I've been talking to people, including the people who are traditionally supporters of this government. And I'm getting them to actually confess that, listen, we need to demand better than this. This, in the 21st century, is unacceptable. We're not in it. We need to do something. They have not, as yet, gone public with their comments and their frustrations. But again, some of them are beginning now to show it in different shapes and forms, that the situation that we find ourselves in our people. And they still seem to be stuck in 1960-something or 50-something when they're realizing that Guyana, the people have gone forward. With this simple device that we have in our hands, we can make a direct comparison between Guyana and the world. We don't have to travel. We can go there, we can travel virtually. We can see, we can hear, we can make comparisons to know that this level of foolishness, what they call in politics, is way beneath us as a people. If these fools allow the Guyanese people to do as they like, they will see how fast a pace we are moving as a people. How fast and how upgraded we are. But then on the other side, there are just a few, a very minor few, and they are, again, they are few, they are the minority, who strongly hold on to this party nonsense and say, man, this party, they feel a loyalty. They feel this loyalty to be supportive to a particular party in spite of your lives are being stymied and you having so many hurdles to climb on a daily basis. Hey, we had enough of this foolishness. We had enough of this foolishness, and we intend to demonstrate in every form, shape, or fashion that this is not really acceptable. Now, why would you deny the mayor his stipend? How is unable to even get a stipend? How much more low can you get? And the guy is doing, I think Raj is a very down-to-earth mayor, and he's on the ground. He meets with the people, he talks to the people, he goes down. A matter of fact, Ubraj was in the trenches, literally in the trenches, literally with long boots. Not now, long now, before Irfan Ali stepped to go on the ground with long boots. Come on, this is the guy who needs at the end of the day. How you twist and turn it, it may not be your party, he may not be supportive of some of your views, but this is a guy needs. And this shows you clearly the incompetence of the leaders that we have. They don't have the ability to work with the persons, with a political opponent. They don't know how to maneuver around the differences and work together to achieve the good of all. There's so much stuck in the foolishness, something that this nation really can't handle at this point in time, now that we're on the world stage. And there's so much of fighting and rumblings that while we do this, the international companies and corporations taking us down, left, right, and center.
Look at this other jagabat. And oftentimes I don't entertain them, but I like to expose their stupidity. Look at this guy. He's as dark as God in heaven knows what. And look how he dresses like a guy by the name of Amjad Khan, who is a crook. He comes as a crook in Indian movies. And I know Amjad Khan. I watch a lot of movies with Amjad Khan, and nothing would tell me that this guy, Jagdar Tamisar, here he now, you all Afro-Guyanese. You can't spell Guyanese. Have to go and farm and look work. So you see how these trench crappos operate, right? Is for this guy here now, look, Afro-Guyanese are lazy. They got to go look work. They got to farm and all these things. That is in the mindset of this jagabat, this trench crapo, right? Who looking like Amjad Khan, who always comes as a crook, right? He's saying you all, you know, that is why Guyana is the way it is because of mindset of this trench crapo. Jagdar, here he named Jagdar. I think he should name it to Ignore, right? Because this guy doesn't get sense. He can't even spell Guyanese. Look out on the quarantine and other places. Look out on the quarantine and other places. Lots and lots of farmers. It doesn't matter their ethnicity. I know in villages where a lot of African Guyanese are farmers, just like our Indian brothers and sisters are farmers. They go out, they plant, they do all sorts of things. But where does Katahar come from? Where does Korhi come from? Where does Chamar come from? Eh? Where he come from? Which hole he come out from? This guy should be ashamed to come on this program to comment. And he can't even spell Guyanese. Oh, maybe he's telling us that he's a Guyanese. But trench crappos.
but
Marvel. Let's apologize because the trenches are out tonight.
Is that right?
Go ahead.
All right. What I would like to say is that most of the land in this country are owned by Black people, by African ancestors. And I'm glad that he mentioned that. And you did what you just said, so I can give me an opportunity to say this. That is why I am pushing and I'm working quietly. I'm working to ensure that all the lands, the 236 villages that was bought by our ancestors, be placed in a heritage committee, run by a heritage committee, where the government, no government will have their hands on those lands, because one, this piece of history never occurred in no other part of the world where our free slaves went around and bought lands in those numbers and then did what they did with those lands. No part, not even in America, not even in Haiti, that people speak about Haiti in the forest, something. No, it forest happening in Guyana. And that's what we did. That's a proud piece of history that has to be kept alive. We own the most, Afro-Guyanese own the most lands in Guyana. That's a fact. Full stop. It's just sad that we as a people, because of the indoctrinations that we start taking our enemies as friends, we now start moving away from what we have and going and look for a house lot on our four-parent bottom-end villages. Why would we allow ourselves to be in this state? And most of the lands that the people are using, the Indian farmers, be it rice or whatever, they're leasing it from Afro-Guyanese. That's one. And two, some of them, with the help of some other members of this government, helping them to take over ownership and control of our ancestors' land, like the case of this is gentleman with Lincoln Lewis, when Nadal told the people to go and occupy the land, when Lincoln Lewis and his people, I was up there on the ground, I saw what happened. They need to be afraid with the history. The people are not very educated. I don't know how our people would be proud to be leadership, or to be in leadership of a people that's this illiterate and this ignorant. There's no pride in that. The people that you lead in aren't able to even properly sign the name. I know a lot of them. They have to use a thumbprints. Even in the same big market, I met a lot of them. If you see the stars in the business people doing
one of the things that we have to do is that we have to be careful in labeling every person from a particular ethnic group, or every person in whichever ethnic group. We shouldn't want anybody to label all African Guyanese as being the same, or neither should we be able to label all Indians or all indigenous or all Portuguese as the same at all. I know of some African brothers who can't read and write properly, right? Just as I know a lot of Indian brothers who can't read and write properly either, or indigenous. So it is not confined to just one race. Even though I hope I'm not misinterpreting you, but a lot of folks, we don't want to paint folks
no,
with the same.
I'm saying
look at this.
A lot
Indian,
of persons.
Look at this, 1 second. Look at this Indian brother, Guyanese of Indian descent, icon, a businessman, successful beyond. Another successful businessman. And there are a lot of also African brothers and sisters who are successful, maybe not as successful, but we've got to be very, very careful. Yes, I have traveled a few times and persons are, come and ask, oh, fill up this farm for me, no man, help me out and thing, no man. So let us move away from that for a moment. Let's move away from that.
No, but I just want to correct you, because I don't want you thinking, or the viewers are thinking, that it's a racial statement. I'm just listing some facts based upon what the person commented on your program, so they could understand the history. If you understand our history, the facts, you'll be able to make more informed and better comments, and you'll be better and more decent people, because you understand where we are coming from.
Where do we go from here as a people? Living in a country, six of us, 6 races, maybe 7, who knows? Where do we go from here in terms of race relation? Because at some point in time, we've got to stop this. East Indian, African, we've got to stop it. It's got to be stopped. And I don't want anybody, okay, Emma, thank you so much for coming and check up on me. Love you, right? Okay, Daddy will see you. Right? Okay, Daddy will see you. Yeah, right? Sorry about that. So we don't want to paint everybody with the same brush. Continue.
What I want to say, right, in terms of how we should move forward, and I'm thinking the young people, I have to commend them. I think we have started moving forward, because I consider myself among those young people. We started moving forward. We don't have time with this foolishness, but I've seen deliberate efforts by the political operatives to ensure that this remains the way it is. And most of the persons who are pushing and promoting this levels of racism are people who are not living in Guyana, are people who are living in the diaspora and farther afield. And we can see this from the last election, because I can tell you, I have a very good relationship with Indo-Guyanese. I have a very good relationship with them. A lot of support I get most support from the Indo-Guyanese and certain things. So I have to be very, very respectful. So when I'm speaking, I'm just speaking basically facts, history, and listing some facts so that we could understand and we have respect for each other. Because until we're not educated about each other, we're not be able to fully and correctly appreciate each other. That's the problem. We need to understand each other. where we came from, where our history came from, the work that each one of us put forward on how we help each other, because all of us help each other along the line somewhere until we understand, and we need to understand. We
Look
need
at
to
this.
also understand.
Stick
We
at
need
this.
to also understand. Okay.
Jagdar. Jagdar Tamisar is supposedly from a mixed village, Alnis village. Jagdar should know that at Alnis village has a lot of successful African Guyanese. A lot of rice farmers, a lot of cane harvesters, a lot of people, African folks in that same village, Jagdar, that own lands at Alnis Bakdam, Big Alnis Bakdam, Manchester, Liverpool, Lancaster, Big Alnis, Salton, Adventure, Limlear, Limlear, Kildonan, Nurney, and those places. So the ignorance of some of these individuals who are coming probably dropped out of nursery school, Mr. Ross nursery school. He does not understand English language. He does not understand history. And so he needs to be taught. And so I am willing at this point in time to sponsor him to attend Alnis Primary School starting from Prep A. So he needs to go back and understand his history. He doesn't know history. He doesn't know that a lot of our, one second, sweetheart, all right? That will be with you shortly. Thank you. Sorry about that, guys. So he doesn't understand his history. So when he comes now to make these sort of statements, it's from a position of ignorance. Jagdar, right? Jagdar. That is what it is about. Jagdar, And unfortunately, these sort of statements, these sort of individuals, I don't know what to say about them, but look at this. All of our Indian brothers and sisters, and I have a lot of Indian relatives, came to Guyana through India as indentured servants. When the indentured servants came to Guyana, who taught them to read? Who taught them to farm? Who taught them to do stuff? It was the same African brothers or African ancestors who did that. So this little numbskull, this little Nimakaram, this Chamar, this Katahar needs to be thrown in the trenches right away where he or she or whatever belongs, in the trenches. He's taking up a lot of time. His time has expired. He's got to go. We will let him go now. Goodbye, Ignar. Continue, Honorable. Continue.
Because the will follow us. Right? I'm saying program like this is so informative and it's useful, because these people need to be educated, because they really don't know. There have been a lot of misinformation out there as to what really is and who is who and who did what. There's a lot of misinformation. So these people need to be educated. We need to work with them so they could understand that this is where we're coming from. This is where you're coming from. And we, at this point, at the 21st century, and Guyana now being the world stage, we got to understand the enemy that we had when we first came here as slaves and they first came here as indentured. The enemy is here again. And we need to again unite forces to ensure that what is rightfully ours remain ours. And we use that which God has blessed us with to elevate ourselves. We need to get back that understanding that again our enemies won. Amerindians need to understand this to all our other ethnicity need to understand this is what's going on. because now we under attack again. The people that never liked us then still don't like us now. And what they're doing, they are actually using
Look at another trench crop.
our.
And you could look at this thing. Look at this trench crop. His question is, name one thing that black person build or coffee. What is wrong with these guys? Like tonight is trench crop all night or what? Look at these guys. Came and met Guyana the way it is. Culverts, trenches dug, canals dug, built Guyana from a swamp so that everybody could be living a better lifestyle from wherever they came from. 100% better lifestyle from wherever they came from. They came and met Guyana, all of the other indentured servants, including the 400 that came from Africa as well, including those that came from India, those that came from China and Portugal and so forth. They came and met Guyana, a paradise built by the sweat. And you have the audacity, Mohan Hardev, to talk about what black people build? Are you kidding me? Did you go to school? Even if you did probably go to school, it would have been I-flat university, because you're displaying utter ignorance here, foolishness. Gosh, where these Katahar come out from? Over to you, Honorable.
Just to further educate them. If you look carefully in the background, there, you see I have Bornum picture over my head. I would like to tell them about that man that is so heavily criticized because, again, of misinformation. And he's black. Bornum was the man. The present dispensation of the parliament was designed and set up in place by Bornum. Bornum is the man who bridged the Region 4 and Region 3 by putting the Demora Harbor Bridge. Bornum is the man that smallened the distance between Georgetown and Linden. He built the Linden Highway. Bornum, the man who built the University of Guyana. Bornum was the man who built the Sierra Potter College of Education that produced some of the best teachers that the world have seen. To the extent our teachers were heavily paid just to leave us to go there. Bornum was the man who built that road to Borbees. Bornum was the man who built the national insurance scheme, the NIS, that everyone and even the present government have been taking the monies out of that thing to invest in projects. Bornum was the man who built the NBS, the New Building Society, that everyone now is going to get a loan at a cheaper rate to build their houses. Bornum, the man who had built the agricultural banks in this country that helped build our Indo-Guyanese brothers and sisters who are in agriculture. Bornum was the man. You hear stuff I just mentioned there? And I could go so much and go on and on, just so that they could understand this is what actually happened. And stop the misinformation that the British have been taught.
We have Honorable. I'm smiling at because like some of them chaps go school feed more and sugar, right? But yet we have. Whenever I'm on, I have to shut the mic because echo is coming from your end, right? So my apologies, Honorable Odo. I had to cut your mic. But so right. But yet these trench crappos, jagabats, they come and they don't hide their feelings for persons of African descent. And some of them are even dark, and some in the US they're black. They're no different. They're blacks, right? To come and say, one, that black folks are lazy people. Black folks not like farm. But go out in the villages there on the quarantine. And you will go to villages and you'll say, why them young people say now go back down? Right? And it's not just about African Guyanese youths, but across the board. So for these guys to come with their racist tendency to say that black people lazy and this, and look at all the things that you've mentioned, the Quarantine Highway, the Linden Highway, the Kanji Bridge, the Marara Harbor Bridge, and all these different things, NIS, the Agriculture Bank, and all these different things that all Guyanese are benefiting from today. All Guyanese. At least Boredom didn't take hundreds of millions or billions of dollars from NIS and give it to his friends to build what you call the Borby's Passage Bridge, Jack Day Bridge or whatever. Look, we got better things to think about, man. These guys are what you call Nimakaram, right? Before we close, what else you want to say?
Well, I want Guyanese to understand very clearly that the struggle that we have to deal with is very real. And we need to join forces more than ever before to ensure that we keep Guyana in the hands of Guyanese. For my research and my studies on the ground, what I've learned, I even went to the Escribo course, what I've learned for some of the shortages in food items that we've been seeing here that's produced in Guyana is as a result of a lot of these foreigners coming to Guyana and quietly investing and shipping out our food. Hence the shortage on the market. They're making billions. And the farmer's getting a better offer. He takes a better offer. He sells out what he has. He doesn't care about anyone. He cares about himself. We are, and leave us to starve. The little that is coming out to the market, we having to pay 3 times and double the price just to survive. We need to understand what's happening here and that we are under attack. And until we see the importance of each other and backing each other and supporting and understand, this is not a PPP and a PNC thing. We Guyanese need to understand at this time that the issues of Guyana is way too big and important for just 2 political parties. It deserves the hands and hearts and minds of every Guyanese on board to resolve it. And until that happens, we will find ourselves in great difficulty.
Well said, Honorable Odu. Best, well said. I want us to take a quick break, but I want all of the folks who are listening right now, or whether on social media or via 107.1 FM, all of the folks, including the trenchies. And trenchies for me is how they think, not how you look or your ethnicity, is how you think. That is a trench crapper for me. I want them to listen to this here. Everyone to listen to this.
Pressure boss pipe. Pressure boss pipe, boy. Umaninja, Guyana de underwater. Oh, on the wrong. Sorry. Umaninja, Guyana de under pressure. Walk. Bangamere is $400 pong. Trout $400 pong. Oh, you go buy that sell back by. I just come and tell a boy, be some buy me little fish and mix with me little crab and sell. Thing that just raise, thing just double, the price just double. Oh, partner. What you could do now? You don't squeeze out the juice from the Guyanese people. The beer hawks left, what you could do with the orange? We can't eat the fucking hawks that guy. Pressure boss pipe, partner, pressure boss pipe. When you put up a fucking 20,000 this week, next week you put up a 10,000, other week you put up a fucking 15,000 end of the month, you gotta still borrow on 20,000, but somebody will pay the bill. Right now, like water bill, mudir and light bill. And then if you get cut off, me a walk little crab. Now crab, man, is walk little crab, that's it. Me do business, you gotta pay commercial. On 7.5, you gotta pay 15,000, but just put a man. Nah, nonsense, man. Me the people try rob you back your back, them a rob you in front of your face. Now look, the goods gone. What I'm gonna do here, buddy? Light bill, phone bill, NIS, tax, ration. Look, thing that raised $2 more. Everything is just double all the time. People got dead of Guyana. And Guyana is strong. Not my set up. Them a take that stay easy. Oh, partner, you hard. You need to do some adjustment. People got to live. I mean, everything here, gold, diamond, everything think about right here. And I these are suffer. People can buy them, yes, but if they don't get the money, they don't get it.
Look, how much is the nice crab?
You got 7,000, 10. You got 7,000, 10,000, 5,000. So pressure was pipe, partner. Pressure really is something that adjust. People got dead here.
Pressure bust pipe. Crabman said it all. I respect and salute Crabman for his honesty because he's speaking the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Crabman, if you're watching, good night, and thank you for speaking the truth. Reality on the ground. He's addressing that to Irfandem. He said, pressure bust pipe. Pressure bust pipe. Your closing remarks, Honorable Odu Best.
Say in addition to what I've mentioned, I would like to say in addition to what I've mentioned previously, in connection what I've seen would have occurred with Mr. Sherrod Duncan, which is quite unfortunate. I think and I strongly believe that what we need to do, there's serious overhauling that's needed in our judicial system. I don't see the need for someone being placed on station bail, then go to court and being placed in a court bail. Once the person placed on a station bail and shows up at court, he is complying. Just move on with the matter. Why would you have to create more inconvenience and some kind of a hardship on that person in placing them for bail? And these foolish magistrates that we have, something is definitely wrong with these people. I have a serious problem with them, you know. And these are the reasons I am fighting for the people, because these are things that we need to fix. Was creating hardship on the small man. You would have done something or allegedly done something, you go to court. Before you even given a a fair hearing, you are being bombarded with stress and pressure. Now, if Sherrod wasn't a member of parliament and probably have his savings and was in government before and have his friends who can afford, you could imagine a small man going through that. What's good? He probably been right now sitting in jail. He probably right now sitting in jail. That is what is crazy. How could you have a system like this still working? That's one thing. Another thing, why it is, I can be placed on self-bail, my own recognizance. And why it is, I'm unable to pay my own bail. Why do I need somebody to pay my bail? I have my money here in my pocket, and you tell me I have to pay the bill and I have it. Why can't I just pay it and just go? Why someone have to come on their ID card and create a whole sort of foolishness? These are the things that we would like to see our leaders fix. These things are making people's lives more difficult. Fix a man's life easy, man. So yes, I agree with the crab man. And I hope there are others who are willing to take the bold step like Mr. Crabman, so our leadership could understand. Hey, we don't need pressure. And he keeps saying pressure to bust pipe. I don't know if you were reading it correctly, but the subtle undertone that I'm getting from that, it will become a time that the people will explode. It will become a time people will explode. And I hope that they can handle it. Thank you very much, Mr. Bensham.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Odo. We will continue to have you on. I know you do your show as well, your Facebook Live. Continue doing what you do on the ground. You have our support here at 107.1 FM, 100%. God bless you, sir.
See you.
Yeah. All right, Honorable Odu there, Odu Best. And I recall in 2002 or late 2001, they charged me with some crap. They're always charging me with some crap. And it was what was it they charged? Sedition. all sort of things this charge for me with sedition, treason, you name it. And this was back in 2001. And they placed me around 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. When they rushed me to court, they placed me on $1 million bail. $1 million bail. $1 million bail. I don't know. $1 million bail. I spent the night at Camp Street because it was too late and it was deliberate, right? It was too late and it's deliberate. Look, Emma is just fascinated about her head tie, right? Good. All right. So I'll be back tomorrow. Same place, same time. You want to say hi? You want to spell your name for them? Spell Ben Shop. Go ahead. You can do it. Spell it.
E-M-M-A-B-E-N-C-O-P.
Good. Emma Ben Shop. Spell Emma again.
E-M-M-A-B-E-N-C-O-P.
Good. Say good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Say thank you for watching Straight Up. Say bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time. Glenn Lal will be my guest tomorrow evening on Straight Up. All right. Thank you so much, our operator. And tune in to the mid-morning show tomorrow with Gabby. So long, guys.
Making the short video for send to you and the viewers and listeners. I'll know we punishing in Guyana. Punishing. Rice gone up, sugar gone up, flour gone up, cost of living just gone up, gas gone up from 3,400 to 3,800. Real hungry days under this installed PPP government. Real hungry days we gone back to. Guyanese? Oh! Real hungry days. Real hungry days.
You get a for you get a for 200, you get a special for 300, uncle. You can get a food. If you want, if you not take a taste good, you get a dark food, you can taste some bite too. You get nice dark food, kind of chip. All the woman was a man is dark. You could come and get a dark food for your husband. Everybody get a choice. We know deprive nobody. Uncle, you get a dark food, chip, sell out right away. We get a dark food, 200, 300 to the special. You don't get no dark food today? Dark food cheap of all. I buy two for 360. You're not buying still. Oh, cost. Everybody come and get a dark food. Buy me out, let me shut my mouth now. Excuse me. Come buy me out, let me shut. I got a dark food for dog, dark food for cat. If you get a rat, I get dark food for rat too. If you hungry, you can come and taste and buy dark food proper. Get dark food with chicken food, dark food with beef. What kind of dog you got feed this food? There's dog, we got food for all them dogs. Man dog, lady dog, you got chihuahua, we tell you that. If you ain't got a dog all you want, you think about a dog, we got food for that too. We got food for every dog. Why you take people there? You got... No, you got to... Remember now, me taste one and you want different. Me one and you want different. Yeah. You got dog on the stock. I got food for dog on the stock. I got food for everybody. You know what? 200 for the normal, 300 the special. You can't get that nowhere else, but they come and buy me to check them out. I got that food with chicken food, that food with beef. I got that food with people teeth all. I got that food. I got that food. I got that. Pressure boss pipe. Pressure boss pipe, boy. Umaninza, Guyana, de underwater. Oh, the wrong. Sorry. Umaninza, Guyana, de under pressure. Walk. Bangami is $400 pong. Trout $400 pong. Oh, you go buy that will sell back by. I just come and tell a boy, be some buy me little fish and mix with me little crab and sell. Thing that just raise, thing just double the price, just double. Oh. Partner, what you could do now? You don't squeeze out the juice for the Guyanese people. The beer hawks left, what you gonna do with the orange? We can't eat the fucking hawks that we can eat. Pressure bus pipe, partner, pressure bus pipe. When you put up a fucking 20,000 this week, next week you put up a 10,000, and week you put up a 15,000 end of the month, you gotta still borrow 20,000, but somebody will pay the bill. Right now, like water bill, more dear than light bill. And then if you get cut off, me a walk little crab. Now crab, man, is walk little crab. That's it. Me a do business. Me gotta pay commercial. On 7.5, you gotta pay 15,000, but just put a man. Nah nonsense, man. Me the people try rob you back your back, them a rob you in front of your face. Now look, the goods gone. What I'm gonna do here, buddy? Light bill, phone bill, NIS, tax, ration. Look, thing that raised $2 more. Everything is just double all the time. People got dead of Guyana. And Guyana is strong. Not mind that set up. Them a take that stay easy. Oh, partner, you hard. You need to do some adjustment. People got to live. Everything here, gold, diamond, everything about right here. And everything's a suffer. People can buy them, yes, but if they don't get the money, they don't get it.
Look, how much is the nice crab?
You got 7,000, 10. You got 7,000, 10,000, 5,000. So pressure was pipe, partner. Pressure really is something that adjust. People got dead here.
So, this is attorney Shellen Washington, owner and founder of the Washington law firm located at 455 Utica Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. We're specialized in medical malpractice, personal injuries, matrimonial law, and landlord and tenant. If you're in need of legal representation, please give us a call today. The number to call is 718-877-3100. Consultation is free at no cost to you. So call us today to see if we can be of any assistance to your legal needs. Again, the phone number to call us is 718-877-3100.